Good evening, everyone. This is Srikant Rajan. Welcome to the Stock Market Podcast from MPIinvest.com, the only platform where you learn to invest and trade in the stock market, plan your financial goals, invest in different financial assets, and grow with a community of knowledgeable investors. If you are not a part of the community yet, visit our website MPIinvest.com to join the community free of cost. Now, coming to the markets today, in fact, as we discussed in the weekly meeting yesterday, the markets are kind of arresting the fall as of now. Yes, we could see the Nifty open at 15,845, which was a gap up, but then we did see the market close slightly low. But if you look at the market, what happened today, even though the market opened with a gap up, immediately there was a fall, but from there was a sudden power which was seen taking the Nifty all the way to a high of 15,977, which was close to 16,000. But like we discussed in the meeting yesterday, 16,000 is now forming a resistance, and that's exactly where we could see the market taking a reversal and coming down. In fact, by end of the day, the FIAs continued to sell, and we even touched a low of 15,739, and from there finally closed at 15,842. Now, one good thing that we can look at here is that the market has still closed on a slightly positive note from a close to close basis from what happened on Friday. So if you look at a close to close basis from Friday to today, the Nifty has actually closed in the green, up by 0.38%, which is very small, but yes, it is something very important. If this can actually continue, things are kind of looking good, but then we will discuss more about the global market a little later. Now, coming to the market today, one very evident thing that can actually come out from today's market report is the Nifty is still weak only majorly because of the FII selling. Yes, the FIIs are continuing to sell, and that's exactly why we see only the Nifty 50 index is actually down. Look at the mid cap. The mid cap sector is up by 1.59% today. Small cap is also up by 0.87%. But then Nifty is up just 0.38%. So that means overall the market is kind of okay, but then Nifty is being sold off completely majorly because of FII selling. Yes, today also FII went on to a selling, but I'm glad the amount has reduced. In fact, they've been selling for 3,000 to 5,000 crores every day. As on today, they have sold for 1,788 crores, which is much lower than what they used to sell on an average in the last week. DIS are continuing to buy. They bought for 1,428 crores. So if you look at the Nifty 50 today, Eicher Motors, which came up with good results, were actually seen running and kind of flying around. In fact, it was up 8% in the day, right? And Apollo Hospital closely followed. It was up 4.2%. But then we could see Shree Cement and Ultra Cement going down by almost 3% after, of course, the news that we spoke in the morning, where Adani had actually taken the deal with Holcim to take the entire 50% plus stake in Ambuja Cement and ACC Cement. So if you know, Ultra Cement also was one of the bidders to this stake, but then because Adani won it, that's why we could see Shree Cement and Ultra Cement going down. So we could also see the tire stocks going up today. We could see the Apollo Tyres and Balkrishna among the top gainers today. We could also see BEL and HAL also up by almost 4 to 6%. In fact, BEL is one of our favorite stocks which we already have invested in. It was good to see the stock actually recovering back from the fall. If you look at Ambuja Cement and ACC, both of them were up almost 4% today after Adani acquisition of the stake. Now coming to some important news on the LIC IPO, things have been going really funny there. Initially, we could see the market kind of taking a premium for every sale of LIC shares in the grey market, but right now the premium has gone down and it is right now trading at a discount of almost 16 to 19 rupees per share. However, this is not going to affect the retail investor nor the policyholder investor, because both of them have received a good discount of more than 50 rupees per share, but then the HNIs are going to be affected. Do you have to worry about it? You don't have to, because LIC, as I've told you, valuation wise is a good company, and the company also has a strong balance sheet, which means over a longer period of time, this is only a good opportunity which you can invest in and you can gain over a period of time. So there's nothing to really worry about it. But then with all these bad news along, we could see probably when tomorrow, when the market listing happens, we could see some selling. But then I'm sure there will be a lot of people who did not get their allotment who would start buying, and probably it could even take it higher. So let us see how it's going to be. And one important thing is, yes, if LIC is getting listed, it could be one among the Nifty 50 stocks, and there are chances one stock would be out of the Nifty 50. So let's see what happens once it gets listed tomorrow. So I am really waiting to see what's happening and how the Nifty would react to the LIC listing tomorrow, which is one of the biggest IPOs in India today. Coming to some good news, monsoons are likely to hit Kerala by May 27, which is in advance of the earlier expectation of 1st of June. So that can be seen as a good news, because see, good monsoons are always favoring good farming. So I would say agriculture. So that way, this can actually help the economy of India, which is actually majorly dependent on farming. So that's something good. So coming to India, no major bad news as such, but of course we are waiting for the wholesale price index data tomorrow, which will tell us the inflation rate in the wholesale market. So let us see how things turn up tomorrow. Meanwhile, today as we look at the global markets, in Europe, except UK, France and Germany are already in red, and we could see the European markets closing in red except for UK. UK was also up just about 0.5%, which is not a big deal. But if you look at the Asian markets, China actually came up with its industrial output data, and it has fallen down by 2.9%. Right? In fact, the retail sales have gone down by almost 11% in this period compared to last year. In fact, the fall is much higher than the expected 6.6%. So which also means things are not looking great in China. Of course, we all know that China has been undergoing serious lockdowns for a very, very long time, and that is of course hitting the entire economy of China. In fact, even the unemployment rate has climbed to 6.1% in China, which is a record, right? So in fact, if you look at the share market in China, it's like falling continuously as every investor is just selling every share that's available in Chinese market. So it's kind of not in a good tune in China right now. But if you look at good part out of this, I would say there is an official news which says that by June 1st, China and Shanghai is actually planning to open up things for the economy. So that means the lockdown, which has been on for a long time, would actually open up. So now that could actually help support the economy. So this is one positive news that we need to wait for. Hopefully it happens as planned. Coming to the US market, US futures were kind of in positive territory, but then sorry, things have changed. By afternoon it went on to negative, and right now as we speak, I see Nasdaq is already down 1.42%, S&P 500 is down 0.84%, and Dow Jones is down 0.54%. However, like I've been telling you always, US markets cannot be dependent on the opening, so we'll have to actually wait till midnight when the market closes. So I will talk about it more in tomorrow morning's podcast. So as of now, when we look at the global cues are not that great. But if you feel that the market is going to be jittery, yes, things can be little jittery for a while more until we have a clear direction. So like I told you in the meeting yesterday, 16,000, breaking 16,000 is a very important thing for Indian market to actually continue the upward move. And similarly, any fall below 15,650 is dangerous, and that is when we need to be really cautious and plan to invest more than sitting with the trade. So that's exactly what we are doing right now. We did enter into some trades in silver plus and gold clubs today in the community, and I am hoping that it goes to a positive profit unless we see a major breakdown in the Nifty. So that's it for now from my side. Before we leave, press the like button if you love the content that we are giving you here, and share this with your friends to help them learn and invest together with us free of cost. So, with that, this is Srikant Rajan signing off. Have a good night's sleep. Let us catch up tomorrow morning in the morning podcast. Goodbye and good night.